On February 4, 2010, Kevin Durant tweeted, hashtag, you ever wake up in the middle of the night and think about a girl you like or starting to like and sit at the edge of the bed and say, damn, I want her? This is the Museum of Twitter, the show where we talk about the most important tweets in the history of Twitter.com. It's Sports Tweet Saturday, and I'm featuring another Kevin Durant tweet. Because Kevin Durant is undeniably one of the greatest athlete tweeters of all time. Not because he talks a lot of trash, not because he's like funny in his own right, but because he tells it like it is. And he is telling it like it is here. In a lot of ways, athlete lives are untouchable. You or I will never have as much money as LeBron James. Hell, we'll never be as tall as LeBron James. We'll never know the feeling of hitting a game-winning shot in front of 30,000 fans. But the thing we do know is the feeling of sitting at the edge of your bed in the middle of the night, thinking about a girl you like or are starting to like, and saying to yourself, damn, I want her. This feeling cuts across all lines. Because if you replace girl and her with whatever gender you're interested in, I know you felt it too. That pain that consumes your soul in the middle of the night. When all of the distractions are gone and all you can think about is, damn, I want her. And Kevin Durant uses this tweet to let you know that no amount of fame and fortune can take that away. Sure, KD is not like most athletes. Most athletes drown this out with a rotating cast of women that they meet on the road. But Kevin Durant, as Yassine Bebe pointed out when this tweet came back up a couple weeks ago, is a real yearner. And I feel like this is a thing that's now in vogue again, thank God. Real yearning. None of this plain cool stuff. None of this incel nonsense. Just real old-fashioned yearning. Like people used to do back in the day, writing letters to each other. That's the type of thing Kevin Durant's talking about. And that's pure. That's real. And so while I've never really been a huge fan of Kevin Durant on the basketball court, I've usually rooted against the teams he's playing for. I absolutely feel him on a spiritual and emotional level. And so do lots of people. The replies and quotes of this post are a litany of people telling KD how much they relate. B Smooth says, man, been happening more and more recently. I think it's time to start dating again. Preet says, I can't stop thinking about her, Kev. Joke in a Box attached a photo of former Nuggets coach Michael Malone going like this and said, yeah, because that is what it looks like, isn't it? Damn, I want her, you said to yourself. Head of organized crime group said, last night, Josiah Bunton, among other people, used a screenshot of Ash Ketchum sitting at the edge of his bed. And it's not just randos who agree with this. Fellow NBA star Devin Booker quote tweeted in 2023 and said, mood. And 13 and a half years after his original post, Kevin Durant quote tweeted himself in 2023 and said, history repeated itself this morning. 13 years had gone by, and he's still sitting at the edge of his bed saying, damn, I want her. Kevin Durant is for the yearners. Now, people do joke about this tweet. Like, some people change the words up to make it a punchline. Like, Born Front to Die Grabba says, hashtag, you ever wake up in the middle of the night and think about an outfit you like or starting to like and sit at the edge of the bed and say, damn, I gotta get flyer? And people have used it as a response to some things involving Kevin Durant, like when there was a video of Kevin Durant meeting Cameron Brink where apparently he couldn't stop staring at her legs. Dan quoted that and put up the screenshot, implying that he was yearning for Cameron Brink, which, you know, understandable. And I'm not really sure what made B think this, but it did make me laugh a lot. When They Got Me tweeted, Bubble Guts woke me up out of my sleep. I had to check my sheets for any slippage, lol. Which, like, I'm not gonna pretend like I don't relate to that at all. I don't know if I've ever had a situation where I really thought there was some slippage, but it definitely has crossed my mind before. And B quoted that and said, that's cool and bro, but you ever wake up in the middle of the night and think about a girl you like or starting to like and sit at the edge of the bed and say, damn, I want her? But even then, people come back to realizing he's right, like Shahir, who said, I don't know how Kevin Durant mastered the craft of articulating the feeling of yearning so eloquently and profoundly. I do, in fact, sit at the edge of the bed and say, damn, I want her sometimes. And I think Stacey K is absolutely right, where she says, if Kevin Durant wasn't literally Kevin Durant, he'd be the world's biggest nerd. Following up by saying, he tweets like a 16-year-old lesbian, lol. And I think that that's what makes Kevin Durant a unique figure in the NBA and what makes him such a good poster. Because clearly Kevin Durant plays in the NBA because he's 6'11". And I know what you're saying. Yeah, of course he plays in the NBA because he's 6'11". If he was 5'10", he wouldn't play in the NBA. But no, what I mean is, if Kevin Durant did not have the physical attributes of Kevin Durant, I don't think he would have pursued sports as a career. His personality just does not fit it at all, and in fact, that's what is good about him. There are some exceptions, and I haven't thought this through as like a full theory, but I do kind of think the things in your mind that make you a good competitive athlete are not things that make you a good poster, because I think in order to be a good poster, you need to be self-reflective. And let's be honest, athletes are not a self-reflective bunch. And I'm not blaming them for that. If since I was 10 years old, everyone told me I was going to go pro because I could throw a ball really far, I wouldn't think too much about my personality either. But for some reason, Kevin Durant did not have that happen to him. He's not drowning out the thoughts of a girl that he really wants with other girls and booze and whatnot. He's sitting at the edge of his bed like all of us, saying, damn, I want her. And for Kevin Durant's sake, I hope he eventually gets her. And I hope whoever he eventually gets tells him to brush his hair. Follow me for a new tweet every day, and please consider supporting the show at patreon.com/Museum of Twitter. You can vote on what I cover on Subscriber Sundays, and you get a weekly bonus episode called the Museum of Not Twitter.